So not much to say right now. We're going to get into this pretty quick. If you haven't watched my first reaction, then please go and do so, as that introduces me a little bit and it will help give a frame of reference for where I am at now with this. I also have an initial psychological formulation for Powder on the channel based on just one episode, where we take a look at her trauma history, her protective factors, and what could potentially be maintaining her difficulties. If that video is just way too long and too in-depth for you, then I have also done a shorter version for Vanda. That seems quite a lot from just one episode. Am I turning into an Arcane addict? And what you're going to get here in this video is an initial reaction to episode 2. This isn't going to be in-depth analysis. This isn't going to be heavy on psychological theory. This is going to be me watching episode 2 for the first time. You're going to see my raw reaction to that, my initial thoughts of what's going through my head. I don't have time to sit and fully process what I've seen and then relate that to psychological theory, and also make sure that psychological theory is correct and evidence-based, all within a reaction video. So this is going to be my very, very initial watch and impressions. So please keep that in mind. And also I can be quite slow with series in remembering who everyone is, understanding some of what's going on with the storyline. So that uses up a lot of my cognitive resources, okay? So please be gentle.
Hello? Is someone in there? Hey, open up!
Oh, he was the guard. Well, I assume he's a guard. He was the person who was trying to get in whilst Vi and Powder were stealing the... What was he? Was he an antique... No, he's an inventor. He was stealing the inventor's treasure. And someone came to the door. So this must be him. So this is playing the same time. So it's gone back, but we're seeing it from his perspective. Oh, that's really cool, isn't it? Because we know it did a lot of damage. We know it destroyed the building. Because Vanda goes, "You destroyed a building." Oh my gosh, that was the worst Vanda impression ever. "All right, I'm Vanda. You destroyed a building." And the destruction was so great when Grayson came down. She said, "Look, despite our deal, someone needs to pay for this because there's just so much damage." So we're gonna see it now from his perspective. That's really cool. Oh, that's bad timing. Jace. New character unlocked. So is this Jace's memory? Ooh, a blue stone. Looks like an infinity stone. Oh, this is so cool. Where are they going? Oh, Mum's okay. So last time, in my first one, I asked what the word arcane meant, and we looked it up, and it meant something to do with secret or mystery, I believe. But it's from the comments, it's quite synonymous with arcane magic, so I'm guessing that was some kind of arcane magic. Oh man, that's just so cool. What did the magic do? Did they go to another planet? Or did they travel on the same planet to somewhere else? Because they were somewhere really snowy, weren't they? With extreme conditions. I don't know how they ended up there in the first place. And then mum looked like... let me watch this again. Let me watch this again. I'm sorry. I need to look at this in a bit more detail.
Jace?
Right, so Jace falls unconscious and then has a flashback to a memory of this experience with his mother and this magician. And I'm very specific with the word flashback there, because flashback doesn't just mean remember. Flashback means reliving. So you have the memory and you relive the emotions, the thoughts, the physical sensations that went along with it. You know, this looks really, really real. I don't think it's just for the benefit of us as the viewer. I think this is Jace reliving this experience. So why are they there in the first place? Where are they? So mum's either in a very, very weakened state from going through this and on the verge to dying, or she's dead. I can't really tell. I mean, she's not moving. She's got no sound, as in there's no struggling to breathe. There's no gasping for breath. There's no, sound of being in pain or anything. And it looks like he's going to do nothing there, doesn't it? Jace is like, no, wait, come back with your shiny blue stone. So is the blue stone magic itself, or is it like an energy source for someone who can already do magic? I love this. Turns into the earth. It's like, isn't there something from the comic books? Isn't there something from, is it Marvel, where they have the, what are they called? You got like the big face that looks down at the earth. I can't remember what it's called. And we have this butterfly, like, a newborn, not a newborn, a new birth, a new beginning. Like the butterfly coming from a caterpillar. And like the flowers opened. Same planet, like I said before, different place. Same place, different weather, but we saw them travelling. Parallel universe. Look, mum starts moving.
How?
Her lips still look pretty blue. See, that doesn't look like it's glowing as much now. So does that mean that the energy source has been used up? And it can't be used again, so he feels safe to give it to someone to use it? Or maybe it needs to be held by a magician for it to activate in some way. I'm thinking way too much about this, aren't I? About a stone.
You have to believe me, I didn't do this.
Relax. We know it was a break.
This is the lady from, what was that show called? The Expanse, wasn't it? She played like a counsellor or a politician or something. She even looks like her.
What happened here?
Science, I guess.
We checked. Science didn't require illegal equipment.
Nor was this approved by the Academy.
Who are you anyway?
I'm assistant to the Dean of the Academy. He sent me here to ensure that anything dangerous is removed.
How am I dangerous?
No, that's for the council to decide.
I mean, he did just have something that blew up in his building, took out the whole building. Oh, is that the stone from his memory, I think? So he keeps it on him. What in all bobbleheads is that thing?
Imprisonment. What a curious principle.
He nearly bobbled over.
Find the physical body, yet the mind is still free. I do love a good conundrum.
We can confine the physical body, but the mind is still free. Saying that to someone who's in prison or been imprisoned. Wow. I mean, that's true, isn't it? although their physical body is confined to the cell, their mind is just free to wander and do whatever. God, that must be so frustrating. I guess this guy's an inventor, not this guy, Jace is an inventor, isn't he? So he'll be coming up with all of these ideas of things probably that he can make and do, but he can't physically go and do them. That's really frustrating. But then if you had someone who was less, what's the word? Someone who I guess was more prone to something like generalized anxiety disorder and worry, or people who just ruminate a lot over things, then instead of having thoughts about what you could build, what you could do, what you could make in the future, you're going to have all these, what did I do wrong? Did I say this wrong? What's going to happen to so-and-so? What's going to happen to my relationships? You could just get caught in so many cycles of worry and anxiety in there with the mind free to go wherever it wants and having nowhere to, kind of nothing to do with that, because you can't, there's hardly anything to turn your attention to, like to focus your attention onto something else. I mean, usually in therapy with worry, say or unpleasant thoughts, if we use something like acceptance and commitment therapy, we would look at finding some way to get some distance from that thought so it didn't take over your current focus. So for example, let's say I'm spending time with my children and I get a worrying thought that says, oh, you need to check your work email because you might have a meeting tomorrow that you don't know about yet. If I get caught up in that thought, then it's going to take me away from spending time with my children. So I can use a skill, say cognitive diffusion, which is a skill where we get some distance from our thoughts so we don't get too caught up in them in the moment. I can apply a skill and then I can re-engage with something important and valued and meaningful to me in that moment, which would be spending time with my kids. But that's a really important part there. The really important part is having something that you can focus on that is meaningful, valued, or important. But if you're in prison, you don't have that. You've just got a cell. That's a hard place to be.
You reminded me of myself, but sometimes we venture too far. No great science should ever put lives in danger.
Professor Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger.
Magic?
Yes.
No. The arcane is dangerous, Jace. A force of nature. Science cannot control it. I am now 306.
Oh, he doesn't look a day over 306.
Life I've pursued the mysteries of science, only to discover some are better left unsolved. Own your mistakes before the council, but speak nothing of magic. Do that and I theorize you'll get away with, how do you say, a slap on the wrist.
So effectively he's saying to Jace, play the game. Play the game, tell them what they want to hear, and you'll get a slap on the wrist. It's a bit like plea bargaining, isn't it, really? First thought, put her up against Jake Paul. Or was it Logan? Jake Paul. See who wins. Who do you think would win? Comments. Look at this leaderboard. I've stopped it here. So we've got Vi, Clag. I can't remember which one Clag is. But Vi's right up there with the top scores. She's in second place during this one. She must always be trying to beat her best, always trying to improve, always trying to get better. Nothing wrong with that as long as it doesn't interfere with daily functioning.
Oh, what's the matter, Milo? You worried Powder's gonna beat you again?
Are you kidding? That was the best job we've ever done. Maybe just don't take Powder next time.
She can shoot. She's a markswoman, marks girl. Let's have a look at the little. Think I'm useless, do you?
Get back. Tell me where I can find them. Give me a name.
Oh, they're going to see them. Oh, no.
Search them.
Go ahead, idiots. We got nothing.
Oh no. Bye scene. Cool. Oh, not him shooting, it's rabbit. Oh, it doesn't scare effect, turn away.
Over here!
Bit reminiscent of episode 1, where Vi has to help Powder up on that jump.
House Pharaohs received your letter. They wished me to remind you that it's thanks to their innovations that you are the richest person in Piltover.
Yet I remain the poorest Medada.
Funny.
We need something revolutionary, Alora. Something to put Piltover on the map. What of today's trial?
His name is Jace of House Talus.
But Heimerdinger favors him?
As far as I can tell.
This one.
That's a child's toy.
Good.
The boy's got ambition. It's why we supported him in the first place.
Darling, he nearly blew up our daughter.
He was robbed. We need to help him.
If anyone is meant to speak up for him, it's us.
We should hit them back. We've got the numbers to beat them.
What is this stuff they keep smoking?
What you want. We crossed that bridge once before. We all know how that ends.
Oh, they've had a fight before, haven't they? And I think, what did Vander say to Vi? He said something like this, and he holds her bandaged arms and says, "This doesn't get you anywhere, or just gets you into more trouble or something." So he's been down this path before, and he knows it doesn't work. It doesn't pay off.
You're just protecting your kids.
I'm protecting our people. Do the same for any one of you. This will blow over. We just need to stand together.
The Vander I knew, the one who built the underground, wouldn't be afraid to fight.
Ooh.
Do I look afraid?
No. You look weak.
Is he? Does he look weak? It sounds like he's trying to protect everyone. Is that a sign of weakness? Is not wanting to fight a sign of weakness? Or is it making the right decision and not giving in to an emotional response for your behaviour? Which seems like that's what everyone else wants to do. Because they're clearly pissed off that the enforcers keep coming down and attacking them and interrogating them. You know, quite right they would want to fight back. But the question is, can they realistically win? And if Vander is saying, no, we can't realistically win based on my experience, then I think that needs to be listened to.
Why isn't it doing anything?
Imagine what the whole of the lanes could do.
Jeez, even Powder wants to fight.
So why aren't we? Spill it, Echo.
Vander's gotta deal with the enforcers.
Oh yeah, that's right, isn't it? Because we saw that in that Grayson scene in episode 1 where she said something like, did she even say we've got a deal? She said something like that. We leave you alone, you leave us alone. Something along those lines. Or you, Vander, you keep your people in check and we will leave you alone. Something along those lines.
For your birthday, Counselor.
Oh, Mel, this is too kind.
I'm
Is that the toy? Is that the child's toy?
told it was built only for sharpest of minds.
And I bought you some ginkgo nuts.
Wait, is she doing that just to kind of take the mick out of him in front of everyone? Or is she generally trying to please him because it's for the sharpest minds? Oh, I did this really easy. Look how sharp my mind is. Thank you for bigging me up in front of everyone.
You are accused of illegal experimentation and endangering the citizens.
I mean, they had a lovely, nice, bright room that they could have held this in already there. And they bring someone in for trial and it all closes up, it all gets dark. And the spotlight, I don't know if it's an actual light or whether it's just the angle of the sun, comes down. That's pretty intimidating, isn't it?
What do you have to say for yourself?
The materials were far more dangerous than I was aware of. And I now know my actions were against a...
Or is he playing the game?
What I did endangered people. It was reckless, and for that I'm sorry.
As Jace's patron of many years, I believe that one day he will be a great contributor to our society.
He destroyed a building. Is this the sort of...
The Avengers destroy buildings all the time and no one seems that bothered about it. But then I guess they are also saving their planet at the same time, where Jace wasn't. In fact, people do have a problem with it. Isn't that the whole basis of Civil War, is that mutants or superheroes have to be registered? But why do they want to register them? Is it so they can monitor what they're doing? Or just so they have a list? I can't remember now. In fact, did that actually have anything to do with causing so much damage? I can't remember. I'm talking absolutely nonsense.
If you were a scientist, you'd know you can't make a prototype without breaking a few wrenches.
Can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
Do you have anything to show for your work besides an explosion? So you're saying your study was meaningless?
It was revolutionary.
All I see is a boy meddling with things he doesn't understand.
I mean, to be fair, they were in storage. He didn't blow them up. If anything, he needs more rigorous storage procedures.
I was trying to create magic.
Oh, the one thing Heimdigger, was that his name, said, don't tell them you're doing anything with magic. Even he's like, oh, I told you not to say that.
Or something you're born with. They can't be fabricated.
The Arcane is the curse of our world. My race was nearly destroyed by it.
Surely we, the pioneers of science, can use it for good.
Jace, enough.
This is the city of progress. Think of the wonders we could create.
You don't understand what's at stake. I've seen this power in the wrong hands. It corrupts, consumes, lays waste to civilizations. That cannot happen here, my boy. It must not.
So Heimerdinger has seen the side of this where this power causes death and destruction. And Jace has seen this side of this where it brings health and life and saves people. So they've got these two very different perspectives that they're coming from. And it looks like the rest of the council, like one of them said, this nearly wiped out my entire species. So they're clearly not going to want this power to be played with or to be toyed with. So everyone's got different perspectives on this. And they're quite personal perspectives as well. That's really dangerous. That's really difficult. But I'm kind of drawn to this idea that this doesn't seem particularly a novel idea in science, because if you think of how many things that are made for good but then get weaponized, they get bought over by the military or by corporations, and they either get weaponized and used in the wrong way, or they get kind of commercialized and something good becomes really, really expensive for people to make loads of money out of it. So this is quite interesting. This is quite relevant, isn't it, to real life?
Heimerdinger is right.
The ethos is clear. He must be banished from Piltover.
Please let me speak.
Harsh.
But as a mother, I have a voice that matters deeply.
Oh, is that his mother?
My son isn't in his right mind. What he did was foolish, but he has a good heart. Please, let him come home.
The protective plea of a mother. I wonder if she genuinely believes that, or if she's using mentalization to think, okay, what do the council want to hear? What can I say here to get out of this situation?
A violation of the ethos calls for banishment, but I can sympathize with a young man's dream to change the world. I move that Jace be summarily expelled from the academy.
Oh, he looked hopeful then, doesn't he? When you hear his expression there, see his expression, eyes open, bit of hope coming. Expelled from the academy, and doesn't like that.
You may take your son home, Mrs. Tallis, but he is never to set foot on academy grounds again.
First time I've been invited to the lanes. It better be worth my time. Who are you?
You're looking for 4 children.
What about it?
I'm about to make your day.
I still remember the look on your face when you found these. If I hadn't spoken, you'd be lost to me. I had to say something.
Magic saved your life.
But it won't save yours now. You need to let it go.
I could have convinced the council. If my own family won't help me, I'll find someone who will.
Oh, he's angry, isn't he? He's angry, understandably angry. But when we're angry, we say things, we do things that we don't mean. It's that emotional brain turning on, turning up, and whilst that happens, the prefrontal cortex, the thinking, decision-making brain, turns down. And you do things and you say things that you haven't really thought through. And it's quite a natural process. If you think about crossing the road, for example, then you look left, look right, look left again, and you take a step. And let's say you do that and you see a massive bus coming down the road, straight towards you. If you use your prefrontal cortex for this decision-making process, what would happen is you would look right and go, oh my gosh, here comes a massive bus. And it's driving really quick and it's not going to stop and it's going to squash me and that's probably going to kill me. You don't have time to think that. What actually happens is you step out and you either, and you notice the bus and you either immediately step back or you run across, because your limbic system, that non-thinking part of your brain that just reacts like this, it just takes over. It takes over really, really quickly. And then usually what happens in someone who's well regulated is once they've made it to the other side of the road or the bus has gone past, they suddenly go, whew, that was really close. Their prefrontal cortex is already back on. That fight-flight system has already turned itself back off, and you're back into a regulated state within your window of tolerance. And the difficulty is when people can't turn it off and they remain in fight-flight for ages. I'm not sure why I was saying that now. Oh yeah, I was just trying to make the point that when we have experienced something that's highly emotional, it can impact our decision making and our behavior and things that which includes things that we might say.
Could these stones really invoke magic?
Nonsense. It's far too unstable. There. Come tomorrow morning, his research will be safely disposed of. Dangerous in the wrong.
Was that the deputy guy earlier, or is it someone else? I can't remember. It's got the Meg floating around outside there. Don't let Jason Statham near it.
They're monsters.
There's a monster inside all of us.
What? No, it'll kill me.
I'd like to let you in on a very important secret. Real power doesn't come to those who are born strongest. It comes to those who will do anything to achieve it.
That's a good old-fashioned baddie take, isn't it?
It's time to let the monster out.
Well, that didn't take much persuading.
They won't see you. My dad says you're a misfit, and that we can't be friends anymore.
Oh.
So why are you out here?
I'm a misfit too, I suppose.
Come inside, Caitlin. Now.
She doesn't even acknowledge Jace at all. Not like get away from him, get away from Jace. It's not even seen anymore.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to explain.
I think you've done enough.
Okay, she didn't acknowledge him, but only because he spoke to her. She could have ignored him, I guess.
You said this was a robbery. Did they take anything dangerous?
This mention of magic has the people afraid. The culprits must be apprehended.
We'll find them, don't worry.
We've conducted exhaustive interrogations. Don't you think we've pushed them hard enough?
Do whatever it takes. Turn the Undercity upside down if you have to. Just find them.
Oh, she doesn't want to break her deal, does she, with Vanda? So I'm guessing that no one else knows about this deal. This is a deal strictly between Grace and...
Welcome to the last drop.
Bored, Vanda.
search the place.
While you're wasting your time, how about a proper drink?
I'll take the strongest shit you got.
Shotgun under the bar? Oh, no. Button. Oh, it's an alarm system. Very good. They're prepared for this. You're not going to look under there? Oh, yeah. Okay. He's going to look under there. Classic. Classic hiding place.
Nearly forgot. I ran into an old friend of yours. You weren't always the peacekeeper, were you?
Be a shame if I had to put them on again.
Oh, the gauntlets.
Constance. Well, it's hard to clean.
Was that a bit of a threat? Oh, this soundtrack's good, isn't it? Hold on. Don't fall yet, don't fall. Oh, that was a bit soon. Is he going to come back in? Oh, no. I think we're okay.
You people down here are all the same. You think you're standing up for something? But we all know there is a crime behind every coin that passes through this place. You're just a small man in a little hole the world forgot to bury. And I'm gonna bury the lot of you.
Oh, he looks so... How did he look there? Just... I wanted to say defeated. But I'm not sure if that's the right word. Frustrated, maybe. Maybe a cross of just frustrated and defeated that he can't really do what he wants to do, and that's just smash them. But he knows that there'll be consequences to that. Frustrating, man.
You all okay?
No, we're not okay. They almost saw Powder. What if they took her?
Oh, poor old Powder. That's all she hears.
You heard him. They won't stop. We need to fight back. And if you won't, I will. Why are we here?
You still don't understand.
What I don't understand is how you can work with them. I grew up knowing I'm less than them. I want Powder to have more than that, and I'm willing to fight for it.
Just like you. I'll let us across this bridge.
Oh, it's the bridge. It's the bridge from the opening to episode 1. So that's interesting, because when I did my formulation for Powder, not for Vi, I questioned whether she would be avoidant of the bridge, as the avoidance being one of the components of PTSD. And I'm not seeing Powder go here, but in terms of Vi, she seems, bearing in mind what took place there, and she stood there now, she looks pretty well regulated with what happened. So it looks like she's processed that. Oh, so I need to just go back.
So was I, just like you. I'll let us across this bridge.
He led them. Okay.
If I hadn't, your parents would still...
Oh, he's still full of regret. Regret for that fight, that battle.
I heard the topsiders for what they've done to us. But who are you willing to lose? Powder?
So she's trying to save Powder, or give Powder a better life than what Vi had, and give a life that Powder deserves. But the way that Vander is saying that Vi is going about that is she could actually end up losing Powder. Powder could end up losing her life completely if Vi goes about it how she currently is. This is such a nice conversation, isn't it, between what's essentially a carer and someone being cared for, who's a child and an adolescent, I'm guessing, at this stage. This real... I'm hearing what you're saying, Vi. I understand the perspective that you're bringing into this. But it doesn't look like you've thought this all the way through. These are the potential consequences that could happen, and these are based on my actual experience. And Vi's obviously seen some of those consequences firsthand.
Nobody wins in war, Vi.
As someone who is deployed in the military, in actual war, I can tell you no one wins. No one comes out of that the same. No one wins. Even if you don't get killed, you don't come back the same. It changes you.
The enforcers will come back.
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Vander shoulders the responsibility there. Oh, he's taking it off. He's so close to that. Is he going to jump? No.
Am I interrupting?
Does it mean that much to him? He would give his life? Is it because of the shame of what's happened? Is it because he feels like he can't continue with his studies and investigating magic? Or maybe because he's been stripped of the resources to be able to do that? But this feels like a bit of a rash decision.
The hell's your problem?
He's still got his mum.
Another list with my name on it?
Actually, yes. But only because you signed your notes. Every page, I might add. A little egotistical, don't you think?
Is that why you came? To insult me?
No, I was
Look, this is what happens, isn't it? When you've got that pattern of negative thinking, you have that cognitive bias where you discount the positive and you only hear the negative in things. And I can't remember this guy's name, not Jay Silverman. And he was quite clearly being sarcastic, wasn't he? You know, your name's on every page, a little bit egotistical. You signing that, like a little bit of humour, just straight over Jace. He can't hear it. Completely discounted. It must be negative what that person is saying to him. That's how he perceives it.
Well, I wanted to talk about your work.
I saw with my own eyes what magic can do. No one believed me.
Nobody's ever believed in me. Poor cripple from the Undercity. I simply believed in myself, which is why I'm here. I want to help you complete your research.
Go on.
I don't even know your name.
It's Victor.
Victor. New character unlocked.
Look, I made them for the enforcers. These are smoke bombs, and those two are full of nails.
Another way she says that. Full of nails. And then a little laugh. Nails.
You know, Powder.
Wasn't that stuck somewhere from episode 1? Wait, what did she say there? Hold on a minute.
What makes you different makes you strong.
Is that directed at her in particular? What makes you different, Powder, makes you strong? Was it a general statement? What makes you different makes you strong? I'm not sure what she's trying to say, because Powder is pretty strong, isn't she? She's like, she could be the inventor one, the techie one that makes all the gadgets. And she's also really, really, really good at shooting. She's strong in her own right. She brings a good skill to the team.
Okay.
What the hell were you thinking? Going into the last drop.
I was getting results.
There is no stopping what happens now. Maybe it's not too late.
Oh, wasn't that the thing? Wasn't there that thing in episode 1 where she said to Vander, if you change your mind about telling me what happened or telling me who was involved, then take this. It's like one of those message things, isn't it? I'm guessing. So Vander must have a way of contacting her. I didn't think about that before. Okay. I can imagine this in the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack.
It's just fine.
Aww.
Don't worry my head.
Oh, look, he looks so disappointed. He can't cheer her up. Oh, is this Benzo's shop? How's that Vi in Benzo's shop? What? Oh, is she gonna fight? Why is she in Benzo's shop? Right, hold on, let me see. Is there any kind of like after scenes? Let me just whiz this forward. Is there any after scenes? After credit scenes, I'm trying to say. I can't even get my words out. Right, my brain's trying to process this. What's Vi doing? She's decided to fight? Oh, someone sent a message. Someone sent a message to Grayson. Grayson's received it. She sent the enforcers down. Are they... Is that Benzo's shop? Has Vi sent the message? Does she even know she can? She knows there's a deal now, doesn't she, between Vanda and Grayson? But does that mean she knows how to contact Grayson? Was Vanda sent it and he's made a plan with Vi? I can't see that. After that discussion they just had on the bridge, I can't see that happening. Vi must have found a way. She sent a message. I'm just hypothesizing here. And said I was involved. Bringing the enforcers to Benzo's. And they're going to have a fight. But she can't. She's not by herself. But then there was that scene earlier when the other enforcer, the one who's working with Grayson, went to the bar and said to Vanda, I had a chat with an old friend earlier. Was that referring to Benzo? Something happened to Benzo? Benzo, if you remember in my Vanda formulation, which I'll have to update now if this is going to be the case, is a really big protective factor for Vanda. So if he's gone, or something's happened to him... Oh man, I'm just hypothesizing massively here. There's only one answer to this, and that is to watch the next episode. Let's get on with it.